YouTube? Jeremy D, motherfucking Glass, back here today with another Drunken review. Now, today's Drunken review has been in a while, long time in the making since I got the motherfucker. And I wanted to make sure it was that because I wanted to make sure that I got the best opportunity to test it out, get my opinion on it, and tell you how it actually is. And what that is this right here. The Oculus Rift S. Now, the reason I wanted to do a video on this is to give you my honest opinion of it. And the most honest I can be is drunk as fuck. It's like goddamn 6:58 in the fucking morning, almost 7 a.m. I've been drinking all fucking night. So I feel I can give you the best fucking review on this as anybody can. Now, one thing I seen whenever I was looking this up and kept seeing repeatedly was that the mic was terrible on it. And that's not the case. If you're using this for VR chat, you know, games that actually involve chat quite a bit, the mic on this is actually not as bad as it seems. Everywhere I looked said this mic was the worst mic out there. And that's just, that doesn't seem to be the case. I've talked to people in VR chat that use the Rift S mic, and hearing them speak is what finally made me make my decision on getting this. Now, another thing, I heard the tracking on this is horrible. And that's also not the case. The tracking on the Rift S and its controllers are not horrible for its design. And honestly, with the way it sounds, for saying its design, it's literally the best out there for its design. And by that, I mean no lighthouse sensors. The cameras are in the headset, built into it. There's no lighthouse sensors on this. Now, you may see previous videos out there talking about how the tracking for the Rift S is bad on first-person shooters and games that use like bow and arrows. That has all been updated and fixed. You do not have to worry about that. And that's what I want to stress here in this review. Stuff like that, whenever I seen it, worried the shit out of me until I seen other videos or discussions on Reddit and stuff talking about like, no, it's been updated, it's been addressed, that's fixed, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about that shit anymore. And so I was very relieved to see that, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Now, one thing I do want to get into about this is comfort. And the reason I want to get into comfort about that, I wore my cousin's original Vive, and this thing is honestly not uncomfortable to wear. Now, I will say this, if I am wearing this for about 2 hours straight, then I can start to get to the point where I'm getting uncomfortable with it, just from the pure fact that I gotta keep it a little bit tighter on the back here than some other VR sets. But at the same time, I don't have to keep it super tight. The only reason I have to keep it tight, and I'll explain to you, is because I have a form of a visual problem in my eyesight called, what the fuck, I can't even, I'm too fucking drunk to even remember what it's called. It's not dyslexia. I can't even remember what the fuck it's called. It's gonna bug me until I figure this shit out. It's not dyslexia, it's an advanced form of dyslexia. It doesn't necessarily flip my vision like dyslexia does. Instead, it makes it hard to focus on things up close. Now, with that being said, no, there is times I can't read things, or yes, there is times I can't read things on the VR system up close. Erling syndrome is what it's called that I have. Now, I can't read things up close on the VR set. Like, my eyes physically won't focus on things. Like, it's hard for me to read charts and graphs and things like that. And on this, it's kind of like a graph system, you know, whenever I'm looking through it. And I do have a problem reading things on it, but no, it does not affect my gameplay. Like, I still can enjoy the game, read tutorials if I focus good enough. I just can't read small text. Now, moving on from that, let's go on to the controller design. When it comes to the controllers, playing on my cousin's Vive, the original Vive, and going to Synergies and playing on their Vive Pros, this design on the Rift controllers is 1,000 times better. I just all around enjoy this design much better. It's 1,000 times simpler. Grip, trigger. Grip, trigger. That's all there is to it, really. These fingers don't really matter right here. These two. Grip, trigger. If you're in a game, you lightly touch the buttons here or the thumbstick. You lightly touch them. That's your thumb in the game. So, grip is these three essentially. Trigger is this finger. So, and then pointer is this. So if I'm in VR chat, I can essentially give a thumbs up, or I can point, or I can just give a thumb point, gun finger, or whatever the fuck. So it's a really good design. I enjoy it. It's simplistic, really, really simple to figure the fuck out. On top of that, one thing I also heard that is 100% not true is the audio on the Rift S is horrible. The audio on the Rift S is not horrible. It comes through about right here in the headband is where the audio plays through. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying listening to audio on the Rift S is going to be better than listening through audio on my Logitech headset, because just hands down, listening through a headset, they can give me dynamic sound from here to 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 back here, whatever it may be. It's not going to be, the Rift S is not going to be as good as that, obviously, but at the same time, playing games like the Walking Dead, Saints, and Sinners, I had no issue. God damn it, I'm tired. I had no issue determining where sounds are coming through. So, if you're looking to get into VR and you have a PC that will run VR, 100%, if you do not have the money to go spend on the Valve Index, do not worry about that. Go get the Rift S. The Rift S is perfectly fine. The only complaint I had about it is the setup issues. The setup was a little bit of a bitch. Not from the aspect of having to put lighthouses in, because like I said, the cameras are all built into the Rift S, but it was just, it wouldn't remember my Guardian setup, it wouldn't remember that, it wouldn't remember my controllers. It was just a pain in the, it's still a pain, not even it's still a pain, is pretty much every time I have to get on, I have to reset my Guardian. Which doesn't bother me, because it's only like a 1-minute process, so it's not that complicated to do. But it would be nice if it would just remember that. But at the same time, that being said, I would prefer getting the Valve Index and comparing it, because I heard the Valve Index has a higher refresh rate, on top of all that. But breaking it down, if you do not have a previous VR system, and you're looking to get into VR for the first time, and you're considering buying the Rift S, this is the best value that you're going to get out there. $500, if you already have a PC that can run it, it's $500. The controllers are great. The headset is great. You're not going to recognize that lower hertz and refresh rate from the Valve Index, because you haven't played VR yet in this. Or because you haven't played VR yet in headset. If you haven't played VR yet in headset, this is literally the best bang for your buck. Go out and buy the Rift S. It's amazing. It's fun to play. It's easy to use. Easy setup. Boom. on, ready to go. Another great thing I love about it that I didn't mention yet is the pass-through mode. The pass-through mode is essentially other VR sets have it where I can just lift this up and fold it up like binoculars. This you can't do that on. But what I love is if I hit my menu button twice, if I have it enabled, I have a pass-through mode, which simply just takes these cameras and these cameras over here on the side and plays them to where I see what's in front of me, and I don't have to take my headset off, and kind of keeps the immersion a little bit better, which is really nice. So, with all that being said, what I'm going to give the Rift S on a rating scale. Controllers. The controllers are going to get a 9 out of 10 just from the pure fact that you don't have the option to make these rechargeable. They are battery powered, which, like I said, isn't a negative in my mind, but it does hurt it a little bit. Well, I was going to show you the battery, but I'm too fucking don't get the motherfucker off. There we go. Nope. Where the fuck does this connect to? There it is. Alright, I'm too drunk to get the fucking battery pack off. The battery back off. There it is, I got it. Alright. Now, the only reason I give this a 9 out of 10 is it is battery powered. It does take double A's. But really nice. Magnetic fucking covers. But, like I said, 9 out of 10 because I would like to have the option to have it rechargeable, but it's not. So 9 out of 10 on the controllers because they're easy to use, and the only negative is they're not rechargeable. Moving on to the headset. Headset use and the Guardian system and the tracking, 8 out of 10. The only reason it's not higher, because honestly it's not that comfortable. Now, while I do like the pass-through mode, I would still like the option to flip the headset up. And on top of that, like I said, comfort is not as comfortable as the original Vive that I played at my cousin's. Compared to the Index, I couldn't tell you because I haven't used the Index. But the motherfucker is still good, still comfortable in its own right. Motherfucker gets an 8 out of 10. Moving on to graphic-wise, graphics I hadn't had a problem with. I honestly don't know the oh Jesus Christ, my light just fell. I honestly don't recognize the lower refresh rates and stuff like that because I haven't played on a higher refresh rate and all that stuff, you know. But I enjoy it, and I don't think I'm gonna stop enjoying it, and I'll continue to play it, and that's what it is. Oculus Rift S overall review, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, and I do not regret the buy. So if you're out there thinking about getting into VR and you don't want to, and you don't have an extra $1,500 to just below on like the Valve Index, which it's not that much, but you know, I'm just giving a little leeway room there for extra money. If you don't have all that, don't bother buying the Index. Just go ahead and get the Rift S. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. It's still good to use, still fun to use. You can enjoy your games all the way around, and it's easy to use. And whatever the fuck else, honestly, it's a good system. Go ahead and buy it, enjoy it, and just, you know, what the fuck ever. I don't want to fucking know. Just get the motherfucker. If you're trying to get into VR, just get the motherfucker. It's as simple as that. As always, stay motherfucking drunk, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm fucking tired. I need to go to goddamn bed.